Hi, I'm back. As promised, tonight my special guest, I have my husband with me, and we're going to talk about his vasectomy and his vasectomy reversal. So I have some questions that I want to ask you, honey.
Sure.
So first, I want to ask, when did you have your vasectomy and why?
I had my vasectomy April the 10th, 2006 at 11:01 a.m. Dr. Albert Asher. And
OCD tendencies.
no, not OCD, pain tendencies. Pain makes you remember things. At any rate, the reason I had it was because there was a Miss Gillespie before this beautiful one. And she and I at the time had 3 kids. The youngest one was about 18 months old. And we had one that was right around 4, 5, and another that was near middle school. So, and she didn't want any more at the time. I didn't want any more. So we had decided that I would go ahead and go through the procedure and get a vasectomy. I talked to a couple of friends of mine at work who had had them done, and they said it wasn't too bad. You know, they said you have a couple of days of swelling or whatever, and you'd be okay, you know, after 2 or 3 days. And so I said, okay, cool, you know, no big deal. We looked at the cost, I think, and it might have been around $700, something like that. Most of that was covered by my insurance at the time, so it just wasn't a big deal.
Okay. So, what are some of the myths about vasectomies? I saw a TV show a couple weeks ago, reality show, very cavalier or whatnot, and the men were thinking that vasectomies take away your manhood. So, what are some of the myths that you've heard about vasectomies?
That's crazy because a few weeks ago, myself and a whole bunch of my fraternity brothers were sitting around, and we were talking about my vasectomy reversal at the time, but we got into discussion. It's probably 10 guys, all of us late 40s, some 50, 51, 55 years old. And we were talking about vasectomies, and I kid you not, to a man, most of these guys thought that for some reason, if they got a vasectomy, they wouldn't be able to ejaculate, they wouldn't be able to have sex, they wouldn't be able to get it up. Somehow they felt like they'd lose their manhood, they'd become a girl or something. They just had these crazy notions. I even had a buddy who said he didn't understand the difference between sperm and semen and where it came from and how it mixed and got together and whatever. He thought everything stopped, and he was just totally confused. And I'm like, dude, you're like 50, you don't even understand your own body? It was amazing to me. And we're talking about college-educated men with degrees, men with master's degrees. And it made no sense. They just didn't understand that a vasectomy is just about getting one little piece, the vas deferens, cut, snipped, tied, whatever, and getting a couple of stitches because, you know, the semen comes down a different pipe and the sperm comes down another way. It's not something that's going to stop you from ejaculating. They come together, they combine, and then you ejaculate both. But if you get your vas deferens cut, it doesn't mean you can't ejaculate. You can still ejaculate. The semen's still going to come out. You're going to be fine. The sperm won't come out. That's all. You just cut off that route. So many just understand it's not going to take away your manhood. It's not going to make you impotent. It's not going to take the hair off your face or have you run around skipping and jumping like Richard Simmons. You'll be all right. Just man up, a couple of days, a couple of peas on your balls, and you put some frozen peas on them, and put a couple of ice cubes on them, and sit around and watch the baseball game on the weekend or the football game and just chill for a couple of days and you'll be all right. I mean, I had mine on a Friday morning. I had sex Sunday night and I was fine. So, it's no big deal. It's just no big deal.
Prior to me. So anyway, so tell me, what was your vasectomy like? What was the pain like? How long was the procedure? What was your vasectomy like?
If I remember correctly, 2006 now, that's been like 13 years. It's been a while. If I remember correctly, it probably didn't last 25, 30 minutes maybe. at the most.
It was in a doctor's office or a hospital?
It was in a doctor's office, you know, propped my legs up, and he talked to me a little bit and told me he was going to give me a local anesthetic, a couple small shots, not even real shots, you know. At the worst, it felt like a couple bee stings, nothing bad, not even bad bee stings. And by the time you feel a bee sting, you're already getting numb. So it just isn't bad. It's nothing at all. If you ever played this sport as a man, you go out there and get hit by a linebacker, I promise you it hurts a lot worse. If you ever wrestled and you got slammed, that hurts a whole lot worse than a vasectomy.
Okay.
A vasectomy feels about like you have a 6-year-old pinch you. You know, and they got nice little sharp fingernails. Have them pinch you. That's about what it feels like. And that happens a couple times. And then you will feel some tugging or a little bit of pressure down there. But it's not even like somebody grabbing a handful of the good ones and pulling. It's not like that. No. It's dull.
Okay.
It's just a dull pull, but it's nothing. It doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt.
So now on to the vasectomy reversal that we had November the 12th of 2018. Tell me, what made you consider a vasectomy reversal?
That was sheerly out of love. Nothing but love. Watching my wife go through everything that she'd gone through with the in vitro, the IVF process, and all that she was sacrificing, and all the heartbreak around the miscarriage and stuff like that. It just, you know, it didn't seem like much for me to make that sacrifice myself, understanding what she was going through. It's just, you know, something that if we're married and she wants to have kids, and I'm fine with, you know, we'll have a whole tribe of them, you know, no big deal. It just wasn't much for me to make that decision.
So how did we go about picking a doctor?
You did all the research. I'm not gonna sit here and lie and say I did something, because I didn't.
And pretty much,
do it, you know.
And pretty much what I did, we did get a referral from our RE at first. We got a referral for someone that was some cities away. Even though we live in Charlotte, which is to me a metropolitan city, they didn't have any vasectomy reversal specialists in our area. So actually, they sent us to Wake Forest. And to have it done at Wake Forest was going to be $13,000 cash, no insurance coverage, 6 to 9 months of healing. And they told us that it was about a 20% chance that it would work because his vasectomy was almost 10 years out. And so there wasn't a lot of reassurance, 3.5 hours worth of microsurgery. I just wasn't comfortable with putting him through the whole thing. So after talking about our next embryo transfer, and just a lot of things not being straightforward with the protocol, the doctor and the nurse not being on the same page about things, I talked to my husband one morning and I was like, look, let's revisit the option of vasectomy reversal. I actually went online to find the best vasectomy reversal specialist in the area, and it listed one for Tampa, Florida. So then I put in one for the Carolinas, and it gave me the name and info on a Dr. Daniels in Bluffton, South Carolina. So I called him that morning. We did a phone consult the next day, and that was on a Wednesday, and on Monday we were in his office. So at the first consult, it was a phone consult, and then when we got down there, he did like another in-person consult, which was about an hour or so. Sent us to get some medicines. The procedure was $6,800 with Dr. Daniels. This is all that he does. He has a small office staff, and Bluffton is right near Hilton Head, so a nice area. But this is all that he specializes in. As far as what are some of your thoughts? Tell me quickly about some of your thoughts with regarding why we did IVF first versus the vasectomy reversal.
I just think a lack of education. We just didn't know. We when we got to talking to the doctors, and we were sent to talk about vasectomy reversal, we didn't understand when we went up to Wake Forest that some of the information they provided us, it didn't line up with what we were told by Dr. Daniels, and it led us to favor IVF over vasectomy reversal. So we did discuss vasectomy reversal in the early on, very early on, we discussed it, and we went to Wake Forest, and the information they provided us sort of redirected us to IVF. So, and it was just a lack of information that would have put IVF, put the vasectomy reversal to the forefront. We just didn't have the information we needed to make that decision at the time.
Exactly. So tell me, what was the procedure like?
Now this is different than vasectomy. So fellas, I just got to be real with you. A vasectomy reversal is a beast. It's a beast. Versus a vasectomy where, it's only 30 minutes or whatever, this is a few hours.
3 hours.
You are put under, and you're not all the way under. I know at some point I did feel some real discomfort, and I wanted to get up, but I had to bear with it. I had to just knuckle up and handle it. The pain meds that I was given did keep me sleepy on the way back home, whatever. But once the meds wore off, it was painful. It did hurt. And it wasn't the kind of thing where, the hurt went away or whatever. No, it hurt. It hurt for a while. It hurt for weeks. It hurt for months, a month and a half, 2 months of pain. And the kind of pain that, I guess it kind of felt like somebody kicked you there and it didn't go away. And it lasted for a while. But again, it still was worth it. I would still do it again. I'd do it right now. If we found out somehow that something was successful, I'd go back and I'd go through the whole process again. So, if you think you're a tough guy, and I know a lot of guys who say they're tough, but they're sissies. If you wouldn't go through this, then please, man, get over it. Get over it. Love your wife, buck up, get the procedure, get it done. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. It's not that bad. It really isn't. And once you're healed, you're healed, and you just go on about your business. Your wife got to figure something else out though, because once you can produce babies again, hey, you can produce babies again. So once you have that tribe or whatever, then you got to think about getting a vasectomy again, and that's what I figure I'll do. We had 10 kids, and I go get another vasectomy. It is what it is.
So a few tips I will say is, you can have your own ice packs maybe in a freezer to bring with you. Be sure to buy some jock straps, some protective underwear for your husband.
You gotta get you some jock straps.
I wasn't aware about that until on the back end, and I ordered some pairs from Amazon. We did drive back home that day, so we had a 3+ hour ride. And he was pretty much sedated almost that whole ride back home. I was watching him breathe the whole time, making sure that he was okay. He was to be on bed rest for 2 weeks. And that's very important because you don't want inflammation or scarring, which can cause obstruction and problems later. So lots of frozen peas, supportive underwear, just making sure that he was comfortable and that, he was okay.
Fellas, order those jock straps up front.
Yeah, be sure to get those jock straps up front.
Get your 10 or 20 of them.
Yeah.
Get them up front because you don't want to be hanging, I promise you. Hanging hurts.
I love how the butt cheeks are out of them.
Get your jock straps. Get them. And you can get the nice ones. She got me some real nice ones. They were real comfortable, It wasn't like wearing a jock strap, to football practice or something from back in my day. They feel comfortable. They're real nice.
So to wrap this up quickly, like about 30 seconds on each, what advice would you give to a man right before a vasectomy?
Just prepare for a couple little pinches, Just that's all. You can do it. You'll be fine.
And would you tell him to think twice before he did it, or because a lot of men are having vasectomy reversals because they got a vasectomy and it was kind of a rash decision because it was easy. So would you tell the man to think twice or to think of it in the future? Or?
I would say no.
No?
I would say no.
Okay.
Make the best decision for yourself at the time.
Okay.
I made the best decision for myself at the time. I didn't know I wasn't going to stay married to her. I didn't know I was going to want kids again in the future. I didn't know that at the time. Okay. At that time, that was the right thing for me. And I don't regret it.
And what would you tell a man right before a vasectomy reversal?
Just know that it's a process. and know that you're gonna go through some pain. You're gonna go through some pain. If you play sports or whatever, you play football like I did, you know that after a good hard game, you're gonna go through some pain. You're gonna be sore the next day or whatever, and you know that you're gonna play again, and you know that you could get hurt again or whatever. Just know that's a part of the process. You're gonna go through some pain. It's gonna last you for 4, 5, 6 weeks, and you're gonna be fine. You're gonna be fine. Just take the meds that you're supposed to take. Listen to the doctor's prescriptions, directions, just his instructions, and just be compliant. You'll be fine.
So we will be having our sperm analysis in February this month to check his motility, morphology, count, things like that. I have done a Yo sperm test, and I'll talk about that in another vlog. I've also done my own little microscopic examination of the sperm. I'll talk about that in the same vlog.
That's that weird stuff. It's weird, y'all.
Well, anyway, and so he is taking certain supplements to enhance his motility and morphology and blah, blah, blah. Briefly, before we close out, you guys may see these shoes in the picture to my vlog. And James brought me these shoes one day. And baby, tell them why you picked these shoes up for me.
Well, we were in Walmart, and I saw the shoes. I like them. They kind of remind me of the little trophy shoes that you get, on the little stand, the little bronze shoes. And when I saw them, I know sometimes, when you're going through this process, it can be tough. It can be really tough. And I wanted her to have something visual that she could look at and know things are going to be fine. We're going to have a baby. Just when you look at these, just know it's going to happen. Just know. I heard the preacher, T.D. Jakes, say, know when you know her. That's what faith is. Know in your knower. So I just wanted her to know in her knower. When she looks at these shoes, she's going to have a baby. It's going to be fine. You just got to have faith. Stick with the process.
All right. Well, honey, thanks for joining me.
Sure. Love it.
Love you. We'll see you guys soon. Bye.
Taya Gillespie. Taya Gillespie, you want some spotlight time too? Huh, doggy dog? Huh, doggy dog? Say hello to the world. Say hello, world.
That's all.